If you have any interest in AI, you've definitely heard of DeepSeek, the Chinese GPT chatbot that has Americans shaking, to the point that the stock market collapsed a few days ago. Why are Americans afraid of it? Because it's as powerful as ChatGPT, it costs a lot less to develop, and on top of that, it's open source. It's open source, so it's 100% free, to the point that you can even install it on your own server. I had automated the GPT chat as soon as it was released in 2022. I'm talking about the ChatGPT web interface and not OpenAI. So, without token consumption. And well there, I reiterated with DeepSeek, I automated it. And you will see, it's very simple. With just one click, you can send dozens of different prompts and automatically retrieve the responses from a simple Google Sheet. I'll show you. The DeepSeek interface looks a lot like ChatGPT with message input. Here, we have the DeepSeek R1 option. For deeper, more thorough reflections, there's the search option to look things up live on the internet. And you can also attach files. In the Google Sheet, you provide the prompt or prompts on each line. If you have multiple prompts, you separate them with the pipe character, the vertical bar, the options are none, or you can click on R1, search, or both R1 and search. So with these options, you can also attach files by specifying their complete path on your computer's hard drive. Then you run the script. It will retrieve all the responses that will be recorded in the answer column. Here is the Automa template. I'm running it. It automatically sent my prompt. Now the template is waiting for DeepSeek to respond. In the Google Sheet, there you go. The response is automatically saved in plain text format, since I chose the option in the settings. So here, we're dealing with multiple prompts. So we send the first one. It responds. We send the second prompt. It responds. And the entire response, the complete response, will be recorded in Google. Let's take a look. And there, indeed, it has successfully recorded all the responses from DeepSeek C. So basically, with one click, you'll be able to send like this dozens, hundreds of different prompts, requests, and automatically, smoothly retrieve the responses directly into your Google Sheet. Here is the template for DeepSeek. So I'm going to break it down for you online. So I'm going to zoom in a bit. So what's the first step? It's to enter the Google Sheet ID into a variable spreadsheet ID, which will be used after that several times. From this ID, we're going to read the settings tab of the Google Sheet in question. That is to say, we're going to read those values in column B. I'm going to read the settings tab with the columns from B. From there, these data, to make their use easier, rather than using the mustache syntax, Google Sheet with coordinates. It's not necessarily very clear. I'm going to use variables that will be more meaningful because I'm going to give them a name. So CSV export, separator, HTML. So I'm going to transpose those values into variables. Next, I'm going to read the conversations, the chats from the Google Sheet. In the data tab, I'm going to read here. I'm going to loop through all the prompts to send at DeepSeek. So from there, I create a loop that will allow me to read each line, so each prompt, each conversation to send to DeepSeek. I'm currently initializing the answer variable to obtain the response. I'm setting it with an empty value to make sure I start with a clean slate. I'm checking if the response has already been obtained. So if the done column is set to yes or no, so if it's set to yes, then already processed, I retrieve the current value of the response and the no column, and I go straight to the end of the template. When it comes to updating the Google Sheet to move to the next line, if, on the other hand, the value of done is set to no, in that case, I move on to the next step. I open DeepSeek. I disable the options by default. I'll put it back here. I'm just disabling the deep think and search options to make sure they aren't left on. Because from one conversation to another, if you've activated these options, they stay on in a new conversation. So, when in doubt, I disable all these buttons. I'm checking if they're activated. In that case, I disable them. And from there, I activate the options for the current conversation, for the chat, the current prompt, if I've chosen to activate it. One or more options. In the options column, none, no option. Do I want to click on R1, search, or both? With a conditions block, I'm going to check all of that and act accordingly. If, for example, I've chosen R1, I click on R1. If I've chosen search, a block, click for search, and so on. And the idea is to check if I need to upload any files. To do that, I simply check if I have anything in the files column. If I have something in the files column, knowing that I can input multiple files to upload, the condition is to separate each file with the character defined in settings as the separator. So in my example, the pipe character, the vertical bar. So with a little bit of JavaScript, I transform these values separated by that character into an array. This allows me to create a loop based on this array, which will let me read each row of the table, so each uploaded file. And exactly one by one then, with an upload block, I upload each image. I wait for each upload to be fully completed. And it involves checking for the presence of a loading icon, quite simply. As soon as it disappears, it means the file has been uploaded. So we can move on to the next file. And the next file, precisely, is marked by the end of the loop with a loop breakpoint block, which will tell Automa the loop stops here. So if it's not finished, you go back to the beginning. So you come back here. Once the files are uploaded, we move on to entering the prompt. So here, just like with the files, we're going to separate and transform the prompts into tables based on its path, to know if there is one or multiple prompts. So in the context of multi-prompt, it's going to send multiple prompts. And so once it's transformed into a table, I create my loop on this array of prompts, and one by one, I'm going to send them. I'm going to do a little cleanup to avoid unnecessary line breaks. Unwanted elements, a form block to enter, the request, here the prompt. Then I use the press key block, which allows me to simulate the key, press enter to trigger the response from DeepSeek. From there, I wait a minimum delay that I've set to 10 seconds to make sure the response has started. From there, I'm going to wait for the response to be finished. So I'm just going to check for the presence of the send icon of the request, because when DeepSeek responds, similar to ChatGPT, this icon changes while the tool is responding. So while DeepSeek is responding, I know that this send button, the prompt validation button, disappears. So I'm going to rely on that to determine whether DeepSeek has finished responding or not. I check in my options if I want to recover the response in HTML format or not. So based on that, I have an option that gets activated or not in the getText block to retrieve the response. You see actually here, I checked in the case of HTML to yes. I checked the box to retrieve the HTML tags. And if this tag isn't checked, in that case, we retrieve the plain text. From there, I'm retrieving my responses, because in the context of a multi-prompt, we're going to get several questions. We're going to retrieve several responses. So right now, I'm making sure to turn all these responses into one. And anyway, whether there's one or multiple responses, it's going to format it correctly. Response to save it correctly in the Google Sheet. I'm coming to the end of my prompt. If there's another one, we're going to pick it up again. Here, so we're going to enter the next question, still in the same conversation, in the same chat. And until we've just finished all the prompts we had beforehand, separated by a pipe character. So each one will be sent one by one until we get all the responses. Once we've retrieved the complete answer or answers from DeepSeek, we move on to the next step, which is to transfer these variables, the answer and the value done yes or no, In the Automa table, since it's the Automa table that we're going to copy and paste, basically, into Google Sheet. It's done. Last step, have we activated the option? Did we choose the option of the export CSV? If we've chosen this option, then in that case, we check that we've selected it with a condition block and with the variable, I'll show it to you. Created at the very beginning, CSV. Export based on the Google Sheet syntax, and in that case, I simply use a data export block, which will allow me to create an export in CSV format. If you didn't understand everything, don't worry, that's normal. It was a demo video, not training, and precisely, this template is dissected step by step, explained block by block in my training. It's included for members, but you can also purchase the pro version of this template, and here, it comes with a tutorial video, where I explain how it works. Step by step, block by block,